The multiverse is the most confusing thing Marvel has ever built, and in 4 months, every single piece of it collides in Avengers, Doomsday. Branched timelines, pruned realities, the TVA, Incursions, Loki sitting at the end of time, and a man in a metal mask who wants to rebuild all of it from the wreckage. Most people have watched every one of these movies and still could not explain how the rules actually work, because Marvel spread the explanation across 7 years, 6 films, and 2 seasons of television. So today I am putting the whole thing in order, from the moment Hulk explains time travel in Endgame to the moment Doctor Doom builds Battleworld. By the end of this, you will understand exactly what Doomsday is, why it is happening, and what comes out the other side. Everything starts with one conversation in Endgame, and it is the single most important rule in the entire saga. The Avengers want to go back in time and take the Infinity Stones from the past, and the first thing the movie does is shut down every time travel story you have ever seen. Bruce explains that you cannot change your own past. If you go back and change something, you are not editing the timeline you came from.
I don't know why everyone believes that, but that isn't true. Think about it. If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future, and your former present becomes the past, which can't now be changed by your new future.
Exactly.
You are creating a brand new branched one that splits off and runs alongside the original. So the past you came from stays exactly as it was. The original timeline continues as normal, and a second timeline now exists, permanently, running in a different direction. That is the rule the entire multiverse saga is built on. Every time somebody travels, every time somebody interferes, a new reality gets created that did not exist before. Steve Rogers is the cleanest example. When he goes back to stay with Peggy at the end of Endgame, he does not overwrite history. He creates a new timeline where he lived that life. And here's the detail people miss. That branch was allowed to exist. It was meant to happen. Which brings us to the thing everybody thinks fixed the problem and did not. Steve goes back and returns the stones to the exact moments they were taken from. Fans treat that like a cleanup job, as if putting the stones back undid the damage. It did not. Follow the actual sequence. A stone gets removed from a timeline, that removal creates a branch timeline, the stone gets returned. And what that prevents is that new timeline suffering the consequences of missing a stone. That is all it does. Returning the stones does not undo what already happened. The branches still exist. Those realities are still out there, still running, still real. All Steve did was stop them from collapsing because a fundamental object was missing from them. So at the end of Endgame, the MCU is not one universe anymore. It is a growing pile of them, and nobody in the story has any idea. Except one branch did not survive, and that is where the next piece comes in. During the time heist, the 2012 version of Loki grabs the Tesseract and vanishes. That looks like a small mistake in the middle of a much bigger movie. It is not. Here is exactly what happens. Loki steals the Tesseract in 2012. A branch, a new timeline, is created the second he does it. The TVA arrives almost immediately. That branch gets reset and pruned, which is a very polite way of saying an entire reality is deleted, and Loki himself is taken to the TVA, where he survives. So that 2012 branch does not continue. It is destroyed before it can run wild. That is the difference between Steve's branch and Loki's. One was supposed to happen. The other was not, and something was watching closely enough to notice within seconds. Which raises the obvious question: who decides which realities are allowed to exist? That is what Loki, both seasons, exists to answer. The Time Variance Authority present themselves as the protectors of something called the Sacred Timeline. Their job is to find dangerous branches and prune them before they spread. That is the version of the story they tell their own employees, and most of them genuinely believe it. Then Loki and Sylvie find out the truth. The TVA was created by a man called He Who Remains, a variant of Kang, who built the entire organization to control the multiverse, not to protect it. To keep it pruned down to one line so his own variants could never rise up and start a multiversal war. He tells them exactly that before Sylvie kills him. Kill me and you do not free one timeline. You free all of them, and every version of me comes with it. She kills him anyway, and without him, the branches multiply completely out of control. That is the moment the multiverse stops being a concept and becomes the structure of the entire saga. Everything after that point, every crossover, every variant, every reality that should not exist, traces back to that one decision. And this is the part people get wrong constantly, so let me be very clear about it. By the end of Season 2, Loki takes his place at the end of time and sustains every branch himself. But he does not rule the timelines. He is not a king, and he is not in charge of anything. He holds them together so they do not die. That is his entire existence now, sitting alone at the base of Yggdrasil at the end of time, physically keeping every timeline in the multiverse stable, forever. The most selfish character Marvel ever created gave up everything to become the load-bearing wall of reality. And I want you to hold on to that image, because in a minute it is going to matter a lot more than you think. Now here's the concept that Doomsday is built on, and it is much simpler than Marvel makes it sound. Two universes exist separately, side by side. Through enough interference, and I mean every crossing, every visit, every time somebody punches a hole between realities, the boundaries between those two universes start to break down. Eventually they collide. And when two universes collide, both of them start destroying each other.
Incursion? An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, destroying one or both entirely.
Now list the interference. Steve going back to Peggy, the Peters and the villains crossing over in No Way Home, America Chavez jumping between universes in Multiverse of Madness, Deadpool and Wolverine tearing through the TVA. Every single one of those was a crowd-pleasing moment that the audience cheered for, and every single one of them was damage. So the heroes have spent 7 years causing this without ever being told they were causing it. And once an incursion starts, there are not many options. There is exactly one way for anybody to survive it. One Earth has to die. If you destroy the other universe's Earth before the collision completes, yours keeps going. If you do not, both of them are gone. That is the entire moral trap of Doomsday. It is not a fight between good and evil. It is a room full of heroes being told that somebody else's planet has to burn so that theirs does not. And based on everything circulating right now, the Earth most likely on the wrong end of that is Tobey Maguire's. The leaked opening has Deadpool and Wolverine arriving on his world with a bomb built to destroy it, and Wolverine staying behind when it goes off. I want to be clear that this is a leak and not confirmation, so treat it that way. But if it is real, the movie opens with our heroes committing genocide, and Doom has not even shown up yet. If you're enjoying this one, do me a favor and hit the like button, because it genuinely helps this video reach other Marvel fans who would argue with me in the comments. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this before Doomsday drops. And it is worth pointing out that the MCU has already shown you an incursion happening caused by one of the good guys. In Multiverse of Madness, Strange is trying to reach America Chavez across the multiverse using dreamwalking, without her having full control of her own power. America's abilities get triggered unintentionally, and the result is an incursion between Earth 838 and Earth 616. The boundaries between those two universes break down, and of course both sides believe their own Earth has to survive, so one tries to destroy the other while the other tries to stop the incursion. That is how multiverse war starts. The film also shows you the end state directly. Sinister Strange is standing in the wreckage of a universe that already lost this fight, and he tells you plainly what caused it. Dreamwalking. Interference. The exact thing the hero of that movie is doing. So this is not a hypothetical threat that Doom invents. It is already happening. It has already destroyed at least one reality on screen, and the heroes are the ones accelerating it. Which brings us to the man in the mask. Doom is not a conqueror in the way Thanos was, and he is not chasing power for its own sake. In the comics, he is a man of science, magic, and politics all at once, and that combination is what makes him different from every villain the MCU has used before. His logic goes like this. He looks at the multiverse and sees chaos. Infinite realities crashing into each other, nobody in control, everybody improvising. And he concludes that only he can bring perfect order to it. So he wants to take control of every reality and build a world under his protection, not rule Earth as a dictator, rule everything as a god. And that word protection is doing a lot of work, because Doom means it. In his own head, he is not the villain of this story. He is the only adult in a burning building full of children. So how does a man actually do that? It starts with him trying to fix the incursions, possibly with Doctor Strange helping him. He sees every Earth in the multiverse dying, and he genuinely wants to stop it. But to fix something on that scale, he first has to become the thing above all else. He cannot save reality from inside it. He has to get above it. And then his own Earth gets destroyed anyway. He is too late. Everything he was trying to protect is gone. So he starts taking pieces from the remains. Planets, technology, magic, people, whatever is left of dead universes, he collects. In the comics, he gets the power for this by hunting down and killing a race called the Beyonders, beings from outside the multiverse who were running its destruction as an experiment. The Doomsday leaks suggest the film swaps that out for something Marvel has already built. Loki at the end of time, holding every branch together. Doom kills him and takes the job. Marvel spent 6 years quietly building a god so their villain would have something worth stealing. And then he creates Battleworld. This is what all of it has been leading to. Doom takes the fragments of every dead reality and stitches them into one single planet. Every fragment becomes its own domain with its own rules and its own ruler, all of it held together behind a wall, with Doom on a throne at the center. Heroes, villains, and survivors from every timeline are forced together on the same world, and they fight for power, for survival, or they die. Whole kingdoms built from the scraps of universes that no longer exist. A domain of Asgardians, a domain of mutants, a domain built from Wakanda. Iron Man's house, the Spider Guild, The Ultron network, the symbiotes, all of them neighbors now. And Doom does not just want to win, he wants to rewrite everything and rule forever. So he rewrites everybody's memories. Nobody on Battleworld remembers there was ever anything else. There was no multiverse. There were no other universes. There was never a time before Doom. He saved every soul he could reach from a collapse he did not start, and then he made them all forget so they would worship him for it. That is the difference between him and every villain the MCU has used. Thanos wanted to fix the universe and left it standing. Doom fixes it by replacing it with himself. So what happens next, after the main Earths are gone and the last of Earth's protectors try to fight back? That is Avengers Secret Wars, a full year after Doomsday in December of 2027, with no Marvel movies in between. And if it follows the comics, the heroes do not win that fight in Doomsday. They lose it, and they wake up on the other side of the end of the world with no memory of who they used to be. But here's the thing about Battleworld. It is not just an ending. In the comics, when Doom is finally beaten, the power passes to Reed Richards, and he uses it to rebuild the multiverse one universe at a time, with Franklin Richards creating the new worlds beside him. Which means what is actually on the other side of these two movies is a new reality, a new beginning. A reboot of the MCU built on purpose, in-universe, with a story reason for every change Marvel wants to make. The X-Men can simply exist. The Fantastic Four can already be famous. Anybody can be recast without a single line of explanation. Marvel gets to clear the board without ever admitting they cleared the board. That is what Doomsday is really for. Not to end the multiverse saga, but to give Marvel permission to start again. So let me know down below which part of this you think Marvel actually pays off in December, and which version of Doom you are expecting. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.